What's up? What's happening? What's good, SteelersNation? How y'all been, man? It seems like I haven't talked to you guys in quite a long time since we played on Thursday, right? Haven't talked to you guys since Thursday night, and it was a little late, so I know I didn't get to see and speak to all of you guys, but it seems like it's been a while, right? It's weird. It was weird watching football. I mean, you know, when you're on a bye week, you understand, but it's weird when you've played first in the week, and then you got the entire weekend, then Monday night, and there's no football from your team. But yeah, here we are. So welcome, guys. Welcome to the latest episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, live from the Steel Basement, a.k.a. the virtual Heinz Phil. What is happening, guys? So you know, first and foremost, let me back it up a little bit. Got my old Steelers shirt on, man. I got so much Steelers apparel, it's crazy. Let me say what's up and what's happening to the early commenters, man. Then we'll dive right in because y'all know tonight is the phone call night. So let me repeat that. Tonight is tonight for you to call and give your thoughts and opinions, concerns, your ranting, your dislikes, your loves, your hates. Tonight is the night. Call in and give me that information. Phone number is posted there on the screen, but for those of you guys that might just be listening, and that just reminds me, I definitely need to take this audio, man, and start posting it on podcast platforms. I am so behind the ball with that, guys, and I definitely need to get that going. So maybe I'll start doing that maybe when the season is over, so I can kind of start fresh with that venture. But we'll see. But anyway, the phone number, area code 619-924-0818. Again, 619-924-0818. You guys will have the majority of the show tonight. You guys know the routine. Keep it short, sweet, and precise so we can get through all of the calls. So, all righty. Let's look over here in the chat and see who's all up in here. Welcome to my good people, man. First commenters, Lydell Dorsey, my good friend, Mr. Winningham in the building, Rajon39. Hello, Miss Lanisha. How you doing this evening? Thank you, Miss Lady, for coming through tonight. Steeler Lee, G-Stack434. Who else we got up in here? My good buddy, Ron Simpson. How you doing, sir? The Real Missy. Hello, Miss Lady. Thank you for coming through as well, hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate that so much. Stone and Confused. Who else? Lyle McCombs in the building. White Diggy, what's going on, Diggy? Cupboy 412. Michael Gorman. Deron Smith in the green. Brent Fox. Miss Debbie. Hey, Miss Debbie, we appreciate you coming through, of course. Haven't seen you live, I don't think. It's been maybe a couple of weeks as far as Terrible Towel Tuesday. I could be wrong, but always good to see you, Debbie. Appreciate you coming through. Who else we got up in here, man? Lamontez Fleming. I think that's a new one. I'm not familiar with that name. Hello. What's up to you as well? Steelers 33. And I guess we'll stop it right about there. Let me make sure everything is, my bad, guys. Y'all hear me dropping my phone. Let me make sure everything is live and functioning. I know you guys can hear me, but sometimes it sounds a little weird on you guys' end. So let me just make sure. Yeah, we're rolling. We're rolling. Everything's lovely. Sounds so good, don't you agree? But all right, man, let's get to it. So, my synopsis. Just going to give you guys, a couple little notations that I took in terms of Tomlin's presser. Give you a couple things on my mind as far as the Steelers. And I might have a special treat for you guys at the end of the show. You guys know that I show all 22 footage for those who are extended family members, and what that means, they actually pay a monthly subscription. They've joined the channel. I appreciate them so much. And I always show the all 22. I will be showing the all 22 of this game as well. I'm going to try to get that out tomorrow. But I think at the very end of this show, I'm going to give you guys a tease, a sneak peek of kind of what I do showing down, the all 22. I'm going to show one play only. And the only reason why I'm going to do it at the end of the show, because if Big Bad NFL happens to get me, I will cut that part out of the show. And there you have it. But sneak peek, just so you guys can see kind of what I do with the all 22 footage. And, and if you become extended family members, you'll get that as well as other content I'm planning on producing definitely once the season is over. But anyway, first thing I want to talk about, man, first order of business. Few things I'm going to talk about in regards to Mike Tomlin's presser. He talked about Davis, Buggs, TJ Highsmith, Joe Hague, Joe Hayden, and Robert Spillane. All of these gentlemen have an opportunity to play on Sunday, and we'll see what that means for the team. Honestly, Davis and Buggs, they would help. To be honest, at this point, man, they've been out a couple, times, and there's been games that I thought Buggs was doing okay. There's been games that I thought Buggs wasn't doing that great. I don't really honestly remember how good or bad Davis was doing before he went down. So I say all that to say this. I'm sure they will help in a rotational component because I think Adams is still serving himself pretty decent, even though it's hard, for people to give credit to anybody after that effort against the run game against the Vikings. But I still think Adams showed something in both of those games. He showed a little spunk. So if anything, these guys will help with the rotation. But is that going to make or break the run game? I don't know. Like I said, honestly, I don't remember how well or how not well Davis was playing because he's been out for quite a while. And like I said, Buggs has been up and down. But obviously we definitely need depth. So I'm cool with that. Obviously, TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, I don't even really think I need to sit here and talk about that, do I? As far as, do I prefer those guys on the playing field? So no need to even go into that. Joe Hague, okay. We want to have depth, okay. I think LeGlue has been doing serviceable. Kind of like the way he represents himself, man. Even something as small as, I saw him quite a few times, helping Ben Roethlisberger up. And I know that's been a knock on some of the other offensive linemen. So I think, LeGlue is serving himself pretty well. Is he the best in the world? Maybe not, but for this guy to first, getting his first start, I definitely saw some things that I like out of him. He made a significant block on one of the Najee touchdowns. LeGlue might be one of those secret dudes. What's my man's name, man? I'm going to lean on you guys, SteelersNation, and I can't believe I can't remember his name. But what is the guy? And it's not BJ Finney. What's the Legursky? I just remembered it. Doug Legursky. I just remembered it as I was about to ask you guys. See, even me coming to you guys made me remember. Maybe LeGlue could be like a Doug Legursky for us. One of those dudes that, plays relatively well, kind of a sneaky guy that you find out is decent. Maybe he could be that. And I would be cool with that. Or even a BJ Finney. BJ Finney, to me, I think Legursky was better than Finney in terms of how we utilized him and what he brought to the table. BJ Finney, yeah, here and there. But I think Doug Legursky was really the one of those guys that wasn't like the big draft pick and the free agent guy and all of that type of stuff, So maybe LeGlue could be somebody like that. That would be pretty dope, right? But anyway, don't know how much I'm really concerned about Hague coming back and playing. No disrespect to him. Joe Hayden, obviously, you want to get a guy like Joe Hayden back on the field. He's a veteran. But honestly, at this point, what Joe Hayden do we get back? When you've been down for that long, I don't know. When you're not playing football, guys, what I'm saying? It plays a toll. When you're not playing an NFL game every week, any time that you miss is missed time. So we shall see. But of course, I'd like to have Joe Hayden back out there and, back in the fold. We can do some different things with some of these other components and not rely on those guys so much as being, guys that we have to put on the field in certain situations. And then, of course, Spillane. I think definitely Spillane, we need all the help we can get at the inside linebacker position. I thought it was very interesting, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Man, if you really paid attention to that game, it was quite a few guys who saw snaps at the inside linebacker position. They were throwing everything out there. You even saw Buddy Johnson, out there for a few snaps. So, listen, we fell in love with Robert Spillane's heart last time we played Tennessee, right? So of course you'd want him out there, but we'll see. Let's see, what else did Tomlin talk about that I thought was important? He talked about the team will more than likely be in pads tomorrow, so another padded practice. And again, guys, for those of you guys that don't know, the NFL has a limited amount of padded practices. You have to pick and choose your spots. So it seems like each time that we've gotten gouged or, embarrassed, Tomlin sets a tone, if you want to call it, whether you're in favor or not in favor. He puts them in pads and, they generally have a better performance. I mean, I think we could all agree. We had a much better performance against the Ravens after getting shellacked. Right? Did we not? Had a much better performance, came out and did what we had to do. And then, unfortunately, we go to Minnesota and it gets done to us again. So let's see if we can have a bounce back effect after this week of practice. We'll see. Tomlin also said, and this was interesting. I talked about this after the game on the post-game show. And I've seen media debate this as well. And the reason why I call it a debate is because, honestly, there's no right answer. There's no right answer for this. And remember, guys, remember me saying this in the post-game show. I gave my opinion as far as what I would have done. But then I said, listen, there's no wrong answer. We also saw another coach do this on Sunday. We're talking about the time in which Mike Tomlin elected to go for 2 instead of the extra point, right? Now, remember at that time, most people thought, nah, man, you kick the extra point, you make it an 8-point game, right? And then you go for the 2-point when you score again and, you put your chances there. And then some people would say, well, why would you go for 2 on that first attempt and then you go down by 9 and you put the other offense is more at ease because now it's a 2-possession game and now you're depending on your defense to get a stop. Right. Now, come to find out, it didn't hurt us, right? Technically, it didn't hurt the Steelers. The Steelers still ended up in a situation where they had an opportunity to still tie the game. Now, what it did do differently is it forced us to now have to convert 2 2-point conversions. But like I said, forget which game it was, but we saw it happen over the weekend. Same scenario. Another coach did the same thing. And I'm like, that's why they're the head coach, okay? You're not going to agree with every decision, but again, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. It's preference. What do you prefer to do? You prefer to do it now or do it later? Either way, we were going to need a 2-point conversion. But here's Tomlin's explanation. Mike Tomlin said he was going to go for the win. Even if we were in the position to tie the game, he was going to go for the win. Reason being, he said, our depth was running thin at the line of scrimmage, and he's probably talking about both sides of the line of scrimmage, and he didn't feel like they could possibly do anything in overtime. He said that. And matter of fact, you know who else did that? How did we win the game against the Ravens? John Harbaugh said something similar. John Harbaugh said, listen, man, we were out of corners. I'm going to try to win the game right now. So my point is, good people, you don't always have to agree with the coach, whoever the coach is. But this is why these guys are the coaches. They have a gut feeling, like Tomlin said. He said part of it was analytics, but a lot of it was gut. And that's what he decided to do. I'm not telling nobody to agree with him. I'm just saying this is exactly why you never really hear me dive in and attack any coach, any coach on the staff in full until I can get a little explanation, until I can watch a little bit of film. Now, you might hear me reflect a little bit in the post game and say, I don't know why Butler would do this. I don't know why Tomlin did that. But then when I can get a better understanding, I have a different understanding. So whether you agree or disagree, okay, knowing now that his idea was to win the game and just get out of the stadium and was never going to play for the tie, well, I don't have to agree with it, but now it makes sense why he did that. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So And like I said, at the end of the day, it still came down to us being able to potentially tie the game. Unfortunately, Pat Fryermuth was unable to pull that in. And let me ask you guys a question. I'm going to pause really quick and throw a question out to you guys. Do you guys think Pat Fryermuth should have caught that? Or do we give any credit to Harrison Smith? Because if you remember, just to paint the picture, Harrison Smith was on the backside, the other safety, I believe, or corner. It was just two guys converged on the front. They kind of sandwiched him. Ball hit Fryermuth in his hands. He was trying to reel it in. Harrison comes from the backside, boom, knocks it out. I can see it both ways. I can see us saying, man, you got to make that catch and secure it. But then I also look at it and say, listen, Harrison Smith made a great play. He made a great play. And I've been debating this with some Steelers fans since that night. Man, he got to catch that, man. I'm like, I understand. Yeah, he got to catch that. I get it. But do we give Harrison Smith any credit? That was a great play. Think about it. Pat Fryermuth brought it in. I mean, you saw him bringing it in, and then bam. It was a great play. Tony B says needs to have better field awareness. What we talking about, Fryermuth? Yeah, let me see what you guys are saying. Let me get to the chat, because again, I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. I told y'all this is a family affair. I might be the talking head, but we're all a part of this show. So I like to get you guys' opinions and not just my own. Oh, Leonard, what's up, father-in-law? Leonard says we wasted a first-round pick on Devin Bush. See, you going too far now. I'm going to talk about Bush. Don't worry. See how things are always results bias. Come on, don't say that. Because here's the thing. Even if you believe that, nobody knew that going in. That's why, again, draft picks are always results bias. But anyway, let's take a look and see what you guys had to say. Sincere says Harrison Smith. Yep. Y Diggy says Harrison Smith. The real Missy, Harrison Smith. Miss Debbie, great defensive play. Mr. Winningham, give credit to the hit. Tony B says he should have caught it. Okay, that's fair. We all have our opinions. Marcus says Harrison made a good play. Kenyon said he made a good play. Who else? Lydell Dorsey said Move caught the football. Harrison Smith made a better play. And Tony, I want you to explain for me, Tony B, you said it needs to have better field awareness. I want you to give me a little more meat on that potato, if you will. Meat on the bone. Meat and potato. I guess that's the phrase. Give me a little more meat on that bone. Okay, so most of you guys are saying that In the Green says Pat gets a pass because he's a rookie, but next year make that catch. I feel you. Listen, I don't think that's a wrong answer. You got to have strong hands and no hit may be coming and secure it. But again, you got to give credit to Harrison Smith. The same way, you remember, guys, in 2019, I gave credit to Marlon Humphrey for knocking that ball out from Juju. Because remember, he had been trying it all game. He tried it early in the game. Juju shrugged it off and scored on that touchdown. You remember that? And Marlon Humphrey just happened to get him in overtime. Sometimes it happens. Deontay Johnson against Detroit. I know we're supposed to say you gotta be more aware and secure the ball, but honestly, man, when Marcus Gilbert, I keep calling the dude Marcus. It's not Marcus. It's I don't remember his name. Marcus Gilbert was our tackle. What's the Mark? Is it Mark Gilbert? The Revis cousin. He was on that practice squad, and he just happened to be trailing behind Deontay Johnson, and he punched the ball out. I mean, sometimes you just got to give credit. Okay, Tony B says he was going to the red zone coverage. He was not going to cover it by one person too. Huh? I don't know what you're saying there, Tony. You said he was going to red zone coverage. He was not. I think autocorrect might have got you here. You said he was not bong. I think that meant to be going to be covered one by one person. Too much of a threat. Okay. Yeah, Mark Gilbert. I'm talking about the little corner, not Marcus. Marcus was the big tackle we used to have, 77. But yeah, that's just my thoughts, man. That's just my thoughts. I thought it was a great play by Harrison Smith. You got to give credit where credit is due. Let's see. What else do I have on my list? Because I'm trying to burn through this, man. And thank you to, might have been Luis D. It was one of you guys gave me some great feedback, man, on, how I can burn through this show, because remember I told you guys I stopped doing the timestamp thing. I just think that my recap on Tuesday has been way too long. So, I'm really just going to just hit some high level points and then get to the phone calls. So that's really what this show is more so about. So thank you for the feedback there. Let's see. What else do I have here? Tomlin also mentioned that Buddy Johnson has possibility of getting more playing time. So let's keep our eyes on that. Debbie says, seems like Tony B is saying that Move should have known that he would have been double covered. Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair, Tony. But I'm just saying we cannot discredit the play that Harrison Smith made. That's all I'm saying. Because now, and again, I'm not siding on either side, but now we're saying that, maybe Move does something differently to hold on. I don't know. You know what I mean? And who's to say? Like, see, that's to me a speculation. We don't know if Ryan Move did or didn't know that it was two guys there. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah. But yeah, I think it was a great play, man, by my man. So it is what it is. Okay, let's get into some other stuff. Kendrick Green. Let me take a sip of water before I get into him. Andre said, Move should have held the X button. Possession catch that thing, huh? Guys, I'm really struggling with this one. Kendrick Green. Has not progressed much this season. Let me explain what I'm saying. I'm not saying it the way you guys think I'm saying it. I thought from the first time I saw Kendrick Green, the first 2 games probably of the season, I said, yo, this dude can move. That's number 1. This dude is nasty. That's number 2. He got all of that. He's agile. He got the mean streak. He's nasty when he plays. He got all of that. We saw that early. So this is why I'm saying I don't see a huge progression. Maybe slightly progressed in areas, but he has not progressed whatsoever in terms of his inconsistencies. Maybe that's going to come in time. Maybe he's not an NFL center, okay? Now, usually I don't want to give up on somebody so fast. So again, I'm going to let the Steelers decide that. But you're seeing clear signs, where there's not any real progression to give you any hope going forward. Because it's not just that. It's not just the stuff about him sometimes getting pushed back. Let me give him a little bit of credit. Kendrick Green also does decent in pass coverage at times. Pass protection at times. It's not like he's getting blown up in every, on every snap. Because a lot of times, guys, again, it's results bias. We see Ben get hit or whatever, and the first thing we go to is, the offensive line sucks. It's not always that. Sometimes it's the stunts and the mugging of the A-gaps that the Vikings were doing that was really confusing the Steelers' offensive line. A lot of times it was Trey Turner that was getting confused and turned around. Now, we want to put that on Kendrick Green for not, identify. Maybe. I don't know. I just know that it was a lot of times that they had them confused. It wasn't all Kendrick Green's fault. There were a couple times in that game as well where Ben had great protection. There was a sack that Ben took that Ben had the ball like 5 seconds. So it's not so much that they suck. I just think everybody thinks they sucks as soon as we don't get a yard or as soon as we give up a sack. I will say this, I think the offensive line as a whole, as totality, has improved over the season. They're still kind of not quite there, right? Even if they're below the line, I still think that them as a unit has progressed. And it seems like they get better in the second half like the rest of the offense. I don't understand it. I don't. But more so than Kendrick Green, a lot of times finding himself on his keister. More so than Kendrick Green sometimes getting pushed back on runs that, right up the middle, which I don't understand. Matt Canada. I'm calling you Matt Canada. Anybody seen Matt Canada? If you're the one that continues to pack the box offensively, run these big jumbo sets, and try to get these 3rd and 1s and 2, sometimes it's worked because Najee just makes it happen. How many times has Najee had to break a tackle in the backfield and still get the yard? But I got to ask you, Mr. Canada, why do you continue to do that when you know that front gets pushed back? When you know you have a center that doesn't always utilize any leverage that he might have. Most of the time, he's getting pushed back and the front of that line is getting blown up. So why do we keep running right into that? I don't understand that. That's not your weakness. I've heard some of you guys here say you got to utilize your strengths. Yes, that is a weakness, Matt Canada. If you're going to running up the yin-yang, spread them out. Don't allow the defense to pack the box with like 9 men. Because unfortunately right now, we can't play the mano-a-mano game with our offensive line. These guys don't always win the line of scrimmage. They don't win the trenches. Not consistently enough to think you just going to line up and run. But here's one of the bigger warts that I'm noticing with Kendrick Green. His snaps. How many high snaps have we seen? And not only high, guys, I watched just after watching the first quarter of the All-22 on the inside, the end zone view, bruh. Most of this dude's snaps out of shotgun are wide to the right. They're wide to Ben's right. Ben is reaching for it consecutively. He is snapping that joint diagonally, bruh. And high. And that kind of stuff, if you already doing that, I understand you're fairly new to the center position, but he's going to have to get that under control, bro. Because I'm telling you, you have a bad snap here and there, it happens. But bro, guys, if I was to show you, you guys are going to see it. Extended family, y'all are going to see it when I show you the All-22. The amount of snaps that is wide right is ridiculous. And we are at week 14. That's 13 games that he had played. Not good. Not good. Before I get to Devin Bush, guys, I saw some bad execution in this game, guys. Bad execution. Terrell Edmonds giving up the outside leverage. Remember that cutback run? By Dalvin Cook? When he just immediately ran to the right side of the offense, left side of the defense, and you saw Terrell Edmonds chasing him. It's almost ridiculous. And again, I think Terrell Edmonds has played relatively okay this season. I don't hate him like some people do. But man, I just, for the life of me, can't understand how he gave up the outside so easily. Dalvin Cook looks like he's running up the middle, and Edmonds, guys, I was telling Kenyon and Tony before the show started. It's like he jumped the inside so fast. Like Dalvin Cook was able to see the cutback almost immediately. And I'm like, where are you going? If you contain, like we actually had that run bottled up if he stays on the outside. And then, boy, Butler and Tomlin, whoever's called it, because again, there's rumors out there. I'm going to get to that. But they used a lot of personnel, man. There was some big nickel out there with 3 safeties. I saw, quite a few times his killer brews out there. Man, I just don't get it. Edmonds, what was he doing on that play? Cam Sutton and Weatherspoon just giving up so much cushion and giving up slants. It was almost laughable and ridiculous. Ridiculous. And a lot of that is scheme. I always say that. I have always said that, right? Haven't y'all always say, why don't we play more tight man? Even if we're not literally bumping and literally pressing, why don't we play a little tighter? Even if we're going to play the bell technique, just don't give up so much cushion. Because when the defense knows when they know that you're playing man and you're playing off man with a bell technique, kind of a trail, you give up so much because we don't disguise it at all. Almost every time, guys, the corner on the right side turns this way, like he's just giving you the inside. They turn inside to bail, and it's like, go ahead, take anything you want in there. It's free. Bad, man. And like that right there, that might be a coaching thing. What I always say. I don't know the scheme, but if that's what it is, then I got to look at whoever's calling the defense on that. Why we do that so much? Now, some people will say, well, we don't have the corners. We don't have the dogs that can play. Maybe not. But let me tell y'all something. Our Pittsburgh Steelers that we used to complain about not running man, they run a lot of man coverage. So if you don't think you got the dogs out there, why you keep running man coverage? And if you're going to run man coverage, can we condense that space a little bit? I ain't telling them to press all the time, but can we meet somewhere in the middle? Excuse me. Just a lot of bad execution. And again, I got on Ben. Ben played a wonderful game, in my opinion. That second half, Ben showed us who he is, man. That's him giving you that last hurrah. I can still deliver when I need to. I can dig deep enough to find it. Ben balled in that second half. But in that first half, I talked about this after the game. How you pay no attention to Harrison Smith. Dog, Harrison Smith is almost offsides when he blitzes Ben. Remember that sack on 3rd and 7? Now, like I said, a lot of the game, Harrison Smith would start up there, and then right before the snap, he retreats. But Ben, as a veteran quarterback, it's up to you to keep watching that. You got to keep checking to make sure he's not coming. Guys, Ben never looked. If you have the ability to go rewatch the game, he never looks to his left. And Harrison Smith comes in super clean. And I think Ben got hurt on that play too. It's little stuff like that, man, where the execution was bad. So whoever y'all want to blame, I'm here to tell you, it was a combination of everybody. If you want to blame the coaches, there's blame that could be made on the coaches, I'm sure. Now, again, I don't know the schemes and all of that stuff that they're trying to do. I can judge them off of personnel and the type of play you called, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm sure there's some fault there with them. But then when you see what the players did, man, I'm telling you, it's a different ball game when you go back and watch the game from an all-22 standpoint and just see, man, it was bad, bro. It was bad. Now, let's get to Devin Bush before we take phone calls. Because like I said, I'm going to give you guys a teaser at the end of this show. Well, I'm going to show you one play. Oh, actually, hold on. There's a screenshot that I want to show you guys as well. Check this out. You guys can see that, right? I'm going to go ahead and grab a sip of water. I want you guys to confirm y'all can see that, and then I'll tell you what you're seeing. Fully agree with that, Tony B. The D-line is supposed to protect the gaps, and linebackers should be clean and roam. You are absolutely correct. And I'm going to tell y'all now, again, it was a lot of losing on that defensive line. Let me tell you, a lot of it. That's why I say, guys, immediately after game, you can't just run right to, oh, man, what is Butler? Oh, man, what is Tom? You can't do that immediately. When you got to, look a little deeper. Now look at this. Y'all can see this. Let me paint the picture for you. This is that play. This was in the first quarter. Dalvin Cook skirts from here, which he gets the ball on the 35, and he makes it to the other 30. And remember the one with, the hole was so, look, you see how big the hole is right there. But let me paint this picture for you. That ain't Devin Bush. That ain't Schobert. So I want you guys to see what you're looking at. You see number 56 there. Of course, that's Highsmith. Cam Hayward is being double teamed. If you look on the right side of Dalvin Cook, number 52 is blocking. I think that's Wormley. TJ is up there as well. That linebacker in the middle is Marcus Allen. Marcus Allen never gets a hand on Dalvin Cook. Now, here's the reason why I want to show you guys this illustration. At first, I was upset, right? During the game, because I said, why are we in dime? It was like second down and something. But then I looked at the personnel. They have 3 receivers, 2 running backs, Madison as well as Cook, and they split Madison out. Madison is up there in the slot. You got Jefferson down at the bottom. No, Jefferson is way back there. See on the 32? He ran like a little in around, like they're gonna do like a quick swing pass to him to fool the defense. We're in man coverage, right? Everybody's playing man. So my only question to Marcus Allen is, if you go watch this play, he hesitated. To me, this is your guy. Your man is the running back, unless we were blitzing. But we couldn't have been blitzing because he stopped. He hesitated so long. And again, I'm not saying he's going to get to Dalvin Cook, but he stopped. And my thing is this is straight man coverage off the rip. Go right to Dalvin Cook, because this was play action. Well, excuse me. It won't play action. It was a run. But I guess what I'm saying is, even if this was play action, go to your man. Go to the running back. This is not a zone. If you go watch this play, guys, this is straight man. Because even up there at number 20, Cam Sutton shoots over there because he's playing man on Jefferson. But then he takes on Madison right there because Madison turns the block. But for whatever reason, Marcus Allen stops. Dalvin Cook is off to the races. So my point is, at first, watching this game, I thought, man, that was a bad personnel, but it's not. I think they matched the personnel well based on who's out there. But this was a clear example of they just cleared out the line right there. They kicked out Highsmith. They put a double team on Cam Hayward. Ain't much he can do there. And Marcus Allen is free. He has a free shot. And he pauses. What are you pausing for? And Dalvin Cook skirts for about 20 plus yards. Just that simple, guys. Like I said, sometimes it's execution, man, or you got to give credit to the other team. Again, I'm going to give huge credit to the Minnesota Vikings at the very end of this show. I've got a teaser for you. I'm going to show you guys one play only. Extended family members will see a plethora of them in the private content, but I'm going to show one play only, and I'm doing it at the very end of the show in case the NFL catches us and I can cut it out the show. So let's talk about Devin Bush. I'm going to be quick, and then we go into the phone calls. Y'all might be surprised what I'm going to say here, but I stick to what I said in the postgame show. Devin Bush, his last 2 games have been his best games this season. However y'all want to judge those, I'm not debating any of that. Some of y'all might say, well, it's still trash. Okay. I ain't saying they were great games. I'm just saying the best that we have seen out of Devin Bush in 2021 was against the Vikings and the Ravens. In this game alone, There were instances of Devin Bush showing some pop, quick action, reacting, speed, all of that. I said, whoa. But then, there was that play when the tight end beat him in the middle of the field. And we gave up that. It was like a 2nd and 19 or something like that. Devin Bush has had woes in the pass coverage, so that ain't too surprising. But there was also a nice pass breakup he had. There were instances in this game where he shot the gap, especially in the second half, playing more like I need him to play. Like, I promise y'all. I promise you. I'm not lying. I'm not defending him because I'm about to get on him. But he had his best 2 games these last 2 weeks. But Devin Bush, whoa, buddy, let me count the ways. I am concerned about this kid. And again, I'm going to go back and say what I said a little while ago when father-in-law Leonard said it was a waste of a first-round pick. Y'all can't say that. You can't say that. You know why? Because it's results bias. Same people saying that were the ones who were clamoring and pounding the table for him. Now, some people didn't want Devin Bush. That's fine. But you're not going to sit there and say that you foresaw it being a waste of pick. Here's the reason why. Rookie season, I think everybody said he had potential after that season was over. I think we all said that. Start of last year, I think you could say he was playing like Devin Bush until he got injured. Gets injured, and now there's issues. What have I been saying all this time? I said I think it's mental. Did I not say that? And that just is what it is. But even if that's the case, you can't say it was a wasted pick. Y'all crazy, man. You can't say that. I mean, you can have your opinion, but what I'm saying is, dog, that the flip-flopping is unreal. Nobody could foresee this. If the man doesn't get injured, we might not even be talking about this. Now, who knows? Maybe it's some mental health stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's not just all injury. I don't know. Because remember all the stuff that was going on, on Twitter and all that? I don't know. I'm just saying we're in this situation because he had an injury. And because he got injured, now y'all are saying he was a waste of a first-round pick. Y'all kill me, man. Oh, y'all kill me, man. But let's talk about this dude real quick. Bush. That was a horrible interview he had this week with the media. They asked the man, does he feel like he's not reading and reacting fast enough for the way he once did? Like as your cat-like reflexes not as sharp? Asked the man to repeat the question, and his answer was, I don't know. You don't know? Okay, if that wasn't bad enough, Devin Bush then goes on to say he admits that he's nervous, scared about being injured again. Listen, whether y'all hate or love that, that's what it is. It's what we've been saying, right? It's what we've been saying. I've been telling y'all that. It's mental. It's not ability. It's mental. But the man said it's just like if you get bit by a dog and you go pet another dog. He literally is. It's mental. And again, I ain't never had no ACL injury. I'm sure that plays a factor. Not everybody bounces back right away. But here's the thing that really got me about Devin Bush. Homeboy said, I'm a football player. I just play football. I don't even know who we playing this week. My man said he don't even know who we playing this week. Bruh. That's a problem. So if we want to say that he's not committed, his mind ain't right, fair assessment. Let's stick with that. Let's not all act like we were Nostradamus and go back and say, oh, it was a wasted pick. Nah, because y'all won't saying that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to allow some fans to get away with that. Now, maybe some of y'all did, but I promise you, most of the people who be saying that, I don't forget, was the same people who was beating the table, was so happy that we moved up. I still am excited that we took a chance on what we thought was a dog. And I will say this too. I have no beef with Devin Bush until this season. And all of this mental stuff he's gone through is linked directly to that injury. So because there was an event that created these other sequences of events, I cannot act like, see, that was a waste. No, you can't say that. There was an actual thing that happened that transpired to make this what it is. Now I think the coaching staff and the GM and everybody else, they got a decision to make. I'm gonna tell you right now, what I think this has changed. I don't think he gets the 5th-year option, and he has these 4 games to prove that he can still play football and focus. If not, it's gonna be a long off season for him because there will not be a 5th-year option. We have seen him sat down, so. Give the coaching staff a little bit of credit there. They have sat him down. Now, are they going to completely bench him? That I don't know, but they have definitely pulled that trigger when he won't do what he was supposed to do. So, yeah, man, boy. That man said, I don't even know who we playing next week. That was the one for me. But all right, man, let me get to the phone calls, guys. Yeah, man, we all were MJ. And that's what I'm saying, man. You know, I will never be that fan that try to, flip-flop. I will never be that. I will never be that. If I was wrong about a player, I own it. You know what I mean? I'm never going to be that because I ain't hear nobody saying that. When we drafted him, I ain't hear nobody saying that after his rookie season. Now everybody knew he was a bad pick. Come on, man. Stop with the nonsense. But anyway, let's take these calls. Y'all know the routine, man. Quick, fast, in and out. Like that burger joint. All right. First up. Oh, hold on. We got a donation. Round of applause. C. Antoine Hill. C. Antoine Hill says, I'm still rolling with Bush. Listen, man. What else you got to lose? I mean, he's under contract. You let him play out his last season and you get lucky he plays well and consider re-signing him. But you send the message. You send the message right now and let him know, look, we're not committing to that 5th year. You got to earn that. I'm cool with that. But here's another interesting thing here, man. Jay Underrated says, Bush rookie season was only good because of Vince Williams. He can't do it by himself. Okay. I ain't mad at that. So my only question to you, Jay, would be, so are we saying that Bush just ain't good enough or he needs a partner in crime? And whichever way you fall on that spectrum, I think we get to the same answer. He needs a partner in crime. And honestly, I don't think Joe Schobert has been that. But all right, man, let's take the phone calls, man. First up is our good buddy and friend, Mr. Winningham, what you got for us? Area code 803.
Good evening. Good evening. You're talking about Kendrick Green, and the one guy that kind of reminds me of him a little bit, and I don't know whether you remember him, but, your father-in-law Leonard and a few others in this group will, and that was Terry Long. Now, Terry Long wasn't terribly a big guy. He was an old American amateur wrestler, but he was very short. But you never seen Terry Long get blown off the ball that often with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The one thing with our defense that disturbs me that we've done in the past so well is I don't see a lot of pursuit tackling. The defense used to be sideline to sideline. You can get on Bush all you want, but that's the rest of the defense. Guys like Edmonds, he's not a pursuit guy. He doesn't take good angles. He still doesn't take good angles after all this time he's been in Pittsburgh. We've sort of, as the draft goes along, we've missed a lot of good picks because we panicked of not getting Leighton Vander Esch's and guys like that. When you passed up Darius Leonard, we drafted Artie Burns. We passed up Xavier Howard. That second round is loaded, and those guys could have been first rounders. And lastly, I have a question. Do you think the NFL needs to stop with Thursday night football because we came off that game with the Ravens, but we didn't have time to prepare? I mean, everybody goes through that, plays Thursday night football, but I just not in favor of the Thursday night football game. Thank you so much. Have a great week.
Man, thank you as well, Mr. Winningham. And yeah, man, Thursday night, I could probably do without it. I don't think, in a sport like the NFL football, I don't think that's enough for any teams to have to turn around and play. It's just, I don't like it. I don't like it. I could do without it, man. I'm cool with Monday night and Sunday night. It's cool with me. You made a great point. I think there were a lot of situations where the Steelers ended up in panic picks. You're absolutely correct. And I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes going forward, but I think that's a very good assessment there, man. It clearly Artie Burns was a positional need, and all of the prospective top cornerbacks were gone. Everybody knows that the Steelers were high on William Jackson, and yeah, I think we've been in that situation quite often, man. And even in this situation, I know everybody talks about, the Steelers should have drafted Creed Humphrey and all of that, but I mean, I don't think I can argue with the Najee pick, and I don't think I can argue with the Freiermuth pick, considering that tight end was a real need. Just think of everything that Freiermuth has given us in his blocking and all that. We ain't had that. And again, there's always guys in later rounds and all that. I get it. I'm just saying, I don't know if I can really disagree with the picks. I think they did take a little bit of gamble. They went ahead and got the more for sure shot guys at tight end and running back, and then tried to go offensive line. So, you could definitely debate that, and I'm not even mad at that. Next up, area code 937. This is one of our guys, man. 937, what you got for us? 937, what you got for us?
What's happening, man?
What's going on?
Man, I just wanted to talk about, let me touch on Devin Bush right quick. I mean, as far as the Devin Bush thing goes, I feel like we drafted up to get Devin White for real, but he wasn't there, so, we had to get Devin Bush. Just like the same thing with Artie Burns. We wanted William Jackson. He got snatched up. We stuck with Artie Burns. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that it's a wasted pick per se, but man, I feel like he did benefit from a loaded defense, which made him kind of look good in his rookie season. Yeah, he got injured his second season. You know what I'm saying? Now this third season, it's a conundrum because we don't know if it's injury related or if it's mental, but it's all the same. I just think he needs to get something done, or they just need to just sit him down and let somebody get out there that's
Judy now takes
team.
Us behind the curtain.
Now,
that whole
what
thing
I really
was
called for, man, I want to touch on Mike Tomlin, man, because I'm tired of being in these groups, these Steeler groups, and everybody keeps talking about oh man, it's time for him to go. I don't know any sane person that's a fan of any team that's winning on a consistent basis, calling for the person that wants the team to, that's making the team win to be gone. It makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can only work with what he's getting from the GM. The GM, he hires the coaches, he hires the players. Mike Tomlin has to put this stuff together. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you take any other coach and put him in Mike Tomlin's position, we 2-9-1 easy. Look at the Lions. Look at Jacksonville. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what do they want? I mean, these guys are trash. It ain't no sugarcoating it. They are trash. This is the same defense that we went 11-0 last year. The same exact scheme. These guys can't even execute the plays. They can't stop the run. They can't get off of blocks. Even if Mike Tomlin stood by their beds at night and whispered sweet nothings in their ear, they would still wake up trash. These dudes are garbage. Our season is wishy-washy, and it's only because we have a good coach to keep some of these, most of the
2-minute warning.
The lack of talent, he keeping them in games. That's it. That's all I got, bro.
Thanks for the call, man. I really appreciate that. And yeah, man, like I said, I don't dispute anyone with Tomlin anymore. I just leave it alone because it's a never-ending conversation. But I will say kind of what my man just said there. It's like, guys, I mean, if you want to find faults in Tomlin, there are some, right? But come on, man, that is not the only reason why the Steelers are not winning. That is not the only reason why the Steelers couldn't get past, hadn't won these playoff games. Go back to the Jacksonville game, and Ben Roethlisberger ball crazy against them boys, put up 42 on the number one defense, right? But our defense with Mike Mitchell back there gives up essentially, well, they didn't give up 45 because there was a couple other situations, scoop and score and all of that. But you see what I'm saying? Play action killed us. And again, only reason why I say I can't put it all on coaching ever, because some of this stuff is basic. You know what I'm saying? Some of this stuff these guys should know. Play your role. So I don't know. But I do agree with that, man. I think maybe if it's a different coach, you might have a worse result. I don't know. I think the man is a good coach, man, with his warts like everybody else. Area code 443, what you got for us?
What's good, Sim?
What's going on?
Not much, man. Not much. Real quick, man. To me personally, man, there's two things that's hindering the Steelers and the organization and where they're at right now. And that's organizational failure and versatility failure, or versatile failure, sorry. And what I mean by that real quick is organizationally, the Steelers didn't do what they needed to do with offensive line backup help, knowing that these guys were getting older and had to get out of there. Same depth with the defensive line, same depth with the linebackers. Versatility, what I mean by that is Mike Tomlin and Colbert, they live and die by that word. And it's evident in the things that they do. What the Steelers should do is draft and put people at their natural position. I'm not saying they don't do it all the time, but often, for the most part, they don't. Like, they moved Green to center. He's really a left guard. They should have put him at left guard and maybe tried to go with Eisenhower or B.J. Finney. And I say that because they're veterans. They're used to being in that position. Move Dotson back to right guard, which is his true position. Move Okafor to left tackle, which is his true position. And let Banner play right tackle. Moore, I have no problem with Moore. He's a great guy. He's taking his rookie lumps. He's going to be fine. But he would have been a beneficial backup. So, and as far as Bush is fine, man. Anybody that know real football, play football, understand football for real, Bush, everything about Bush is mental. It's clear as day. No ifs, ands, or buts, man. Thanks for taking my call.
Man, great call. I'm throwing you a round of applause. Outstanding call. And not to say that everyone else's call so far hasn't been outstanding, but when certain points are made, I'm going to give guys a round of applause. You know what I liked about 443? He gave me substance as to what he doesn't like about Tomlin and Colbert's approach. Substance. Love it. By now, you guys should know that's the type of person I am. Even if we disagree, and not saying I disagree with 443, I'm just saying in theory, even if I disagree with somebody, I like to hear their side. I don't like just pop shot information. That guy sucks. Oh, that coach sucks. No, tell me why. Let's have a conversation. And that's why I gave 443 that round of applause, because he laid out what he doesn't like about the Tomlin and Colbert approach. And in a way, you might have to agree with what he said in some of them situations. I definitely agree with you with Dotson. Why we ain't move Dotson to right guard? I thought message. I thought for sure that was going to happen when DeCastro was injured and we had to release him. In my mind, we going to move Dotson to right guard. But what do? We leave Dotson at left guard and then we get Trey Turner. Like you said, maybe a BJ Finney or somebody like that, or Hasenauer may have been able to be the center. Like maybe you could have went into the season with that and not draft Kendrick. So there's definitely questions that us as a fan base can look at and say, I don't know about that. I'll give y'all another one. Y'all gonna laugh at this, but I think you guys will respect where I'm coming from. Remember Sean Davis? Put him in slot. Put him at strong safety. Lo and behold, look where he played his best at. I know you guys are going to say he wasn't that good, but didn't he play his better football for the Steelers at free safety? So it's things like that. Like, yeah. Now again, they are NFL level people. Mike Tomlin probably knows more football than I could ever learn. But it's fair for us, the fans, who know a little ball too, to kind of identify that and say, wait, maybe we should have did this. Maybe that's fair. Great call, man. Round of applause to Lee Sharp for the donation. Hey, Lee, you're not going to get a whole lot of pushback from me on this one. Y'all know this. He says, Sim, I love Najee, but that dude, Javonte Williams, is different. Runs viciously and super explosive. Y'all know I'm riding with that. Y'all know who my man was. Don't get it twisted. I love Najee. Like, Najee is my guy right now, especially after learning about his personality, who he is as a person, his dedication, how he has played. Oh, I'm taking Najee in a heartbeat. But y'all know I like that boy Williams. Y'all remember that, right? Williams a dog, bro. You're not tackling Williams on the first. And that's the thing. It's beautiful when what you see in college translates. You can say that about Najee too. But Williams, I'm right there with you, Lee. No question. Next up, area code 937. What you got for us?
What's up, Sam?
What's going on, man?
937. What's up, SteelersNation? Man, I didn't feel like getting on tonight, man, but I put the podcast on and I got excited. You know, we have our days, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to touch on Fire Move, man. I'm going to piggyback on Fire Move, man. And yeah, man, that was, Harrison Smith made a great defensive play. Yes, he did. He did what you were taught. He grabbed the arms, causing Fire Move to have alligator arms on that. And, it was a great defensive play. But now, don't y'all get down on Fire Move, because I still believe he's a Pro Bowl caliber tight end. That's just one play. It was a great play, great defensive play, man. But to me, man, the bigger subject on that, man, was how Ben put that ball right there between two defenders, man. It was on point, bro. I love the placement of that ball.
That was a heck of a throw by Ben. And see, we didn't talk about that enough because there was a drop. Bruh, that was a heck of a throw by Ben.
Yes, sir, it was, man. So I like to say that, it made me feel good about the old man, Secondly, man, I'm going to get off here, bro. James Washington, you seen that combat catch. That ain't the first time. Look, man, this brother, his arms are longer for the proportion of his body. He's strong. He's from the South, man. He worked in the daggone on the farm. I did a little farm work, man. My people from Georgia. They make you strong, bro.
Yeah. Country strong.
Country strong, my brother.
No, I got you. No. I know.
I'm sorry about that, man. I'm just being real.
I got you.
He had great hands. Look, check this out, man. He has arguably the best hands on the field, with the exception of the emergence of Deontay Johnson. Before that, it was Juju. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why not get James involved more, man? I like it.
Yeah.
Drop passes, man, bro. I don't understand it. I mean, he going up between two defenders, snagging the ball like what? He mousing them out there, man. I just don't understand that, man. That's what I disagree with the staff for whatever reason. I want to see James Washington every game. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And you know what it is? I'm gonna let you go, Sam. But you know what it is? He's humble, He's a humble guy, humble country guy. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to be the star or whatever. He just put in the work. But that's what you want. That's what I see, man. And because he ain't got that, maybe that's his personality or whatever, man. You're like, oh, he's not. The man is money, man. And I have a feeling we're gonna lose him next year, and we're gonna regret it. We're gonna regret it, man. The man needs to be on the field. That's what I wanted to talk about tonight, my brother. One more thing, I'm gonna help you out real quick. Ladies, I understand you feel like you don't have football knowledge and stuff and play football like we men did, but your call still counts. Your opinion matters. So me and my brother Sim would like you to call in. I want to hear some ladies. I'm tired of hearing all these dudes.
No doubt, man.
Peace and love, man.
Peace and love, man. That's my man right there, man. My man said he tired of hearing all the Frank talk. You want to hear some women talking. I ain't mad at that. Yeah, man. Ladies in the chat. Definitely. Y'all should call in more, man. I know we bring y'all in and feature y'all in on your own show, but absolutely. Look, man. My man, it's so much that you said that I agree with, but I'm going to stick right there with James Washington. Listen. It goes back to what the other 937 said. Oh, no, it was 443. The Steelers, it's like their philosophy is they keep trying to get the potential out of the players. And I know that sounds crazy because that's what you're supposed to do. But I kind of felt like that with Claypool, right? Claypool had all of this potential in the world, still has it. And I felt like they forced Claypool in the lineup quick. Now, rookie season, he blew on the scene. He did a couple things for us in the rounds and all of that. Great. But I feel like James Washington unfairly got pushed to the back. And part of that is because of Deontay Johnson emerged. Remember, we're talking about no disrespect. Because y'all know we love Ben. So anytime you criticize him, you got to say that because people will get on you. We know Ben like his main target. Deontay Johnson has become Antonio Brown as far as where Ben is looking. So some of it could be Ben, but then there's times when James Washington wasn't getting on the field, when Juju was out there. You're going to keep Juju on the field, of course. But how about, why didn't you allow James Washington to play a little more than Claypool at times? Should have been way more rotation. Then even when Juju goes down, we started seeing Ray McCloud more than Washington. I'm like, what is going on here? See what I said, guys? We might not be NFL people, but as fans and guys who might have played the game and know the game, we can see that. And this boy, every time he in the game, he makes a comeback catch. Think about that. James Washington will go get that ball for you. That touchdown catch, come on, man. Yeah, and Claypool ain't on the highest of lists right now anyway. But I don't understand it, man. And like you said, I think we're gonna lose Washington, man. I would love to retain him. I would love to retain him, and if somehow we got Juju, because I want to see that. I think that young group can flourish, man. If Juju was still out there, yeah, I definitely would like to see him back. But all right, man, we got 2 more calls. Next up, area 314. What you got for us?
Hello?
Yeah, what's going on?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. This is Patrick calling from St. Louis. I wanted to talk about Chase real quick, Chase Claypool, because I didn't see the last game, and so I'm looking on my social media account, and people are just, they're really upset. So I looked to see what was going on, and everybody was real mad. And I was like, what's happening? And then I'm seeing people were saying, he tried to celebrate, and they only had a few seconds left, and he cost them the game. And I started looking at the game more, and I saw all the other things that happened, and then I realized that it was other things. But then when I saw the clip, I was like, man, he really messed up, But then I started looking at the highlights because, I like to look at the highlights. But whenever the Steelers lose, I don't want to look at the highlights. But I was like, you got to look at the highlights. So I'm watching the highlights, and I'm watching that last drive. And then I'm seeing he's made some amazing catches. Like, he is that last drive. And then when I said, oh, this is the catch where he messes up and celebrates and they lose. And I'm looking at the celebration and I'm looking at the clock. And I swear, everybody on social media was like, he lost like 15, 20 seconds. And I'm looking at the clock. I'm like,
yeah.
Yo, they still got 20-something seconds. They on the 30 because of his catch. And they completely blew it. The team blew it. They blew it. And I'm sitting here like, I was so angry because everybody's like, yo, Claiborne cost us the game. And I'm sitting here looking at this, I'm like, do y'all watch football or do you skim through it? Like, I'm looking at the scene. I'm looking at the plays. And it's literally 20-something seconds left. They're on the 30. They're right there, and they can't do it. And I'm like, y'all so I had to say that because I was like, I can't believe everybody. Like, I understand there's some things about him that we don't like. I get that. But you can't blame how you going to blame if you're blaming him on that and you're exaggerating that, you got to pause, look in the mirror and say, I hate this guy.
2-minute warning.
It has literally nothing to do with football because that's not football. Because it's 20 seconds on the clock. That's math. There's something that's wrong right there. I don't like that dude. But it don't have anything to do with football. Like, sure, it would be great if he didn't do that and we didn't lose 2 or 3 seconds. But that last drive, that was basically all him getting us there, and the team overall failed getting into the end zone. And that's all I got to say.
Man, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate that for sure. I got to say this, though, 314, because it wouldn't be me if I didn't. Got to watch the game, man. Now, if you don't have the ability to watch it because, your locale, I get it. But only reason why I say that is because that ain't the only thing that Claypool did. Claypool got a bonehead personal foul earlier. Claypool missed a clear block on a 3rd and 1, and Najee got hit in the backfield. And that celebration, I get what you're saying. It still was time. But, again, perfect example I heard from Ryan Clark. Got to give Ryan Clark his credit on this one, as he talked about Larry Fitzgerald. And if anybody ever watched Larry Fitzgerald play, you definitely saw this. When they in crunch time, he gets up, sprints back to the line, because his mind is, we got to get a playoff. We got to get a playoff. Claypool celebrate. Can't excuse that. But at the same time, I don't vilify players either. See, again, I ain't ready to throw him in the trash. The same way I'm not all the way ready to throw Devin Bush in the trash. I'm going to see if Devin Bush could come out of his funk. And I'm going to acknowledge that Claypool is young and he got to get his mind right. You got to stop talking about practice needing music and practice to perform. All of that stuff. Claypool, I'm giving you a little pass. But you need to get out of that, bro. You need to show me a better commitment. But, yeah, that wasn't the only thing that he did. So, yeah, definitely definitely don't think that was it. And, yeah, I want to comment on that too, man. Joe Mannix, come on, man. Come on. That's coaching. Like, yeah, I'd swear, man. Coaches cannot be accountable for individual things that people do out of their own mind and head. I'm just saying. Last call of the night, area code 724. What you got for us?
What's going on, Sim?
Good. What's going on, man?
Yeah, there's a couple things I want to point out. And you and some of the people in the room, can maybe address it. When we played against the Ravens, it seemed to me like Big Ben couldn't convert a first down until almost to the third quarter. Now, our defense was on a field almost the first half, and then pretty much almost the first half, and then part of the third quarter. So by the time Thursday came, and they went up to Minnesota, and our defensive line was getting pushed around, I really put the blame on Big Ben. I really do. And I know that's going to be an unpopular opinion, because Big Ben can never do nothing wrong. But this guy, Big Ben, has always been the type of quarterback that has a slow start. He doesn't play 4 quarters. And if he plays one good quarter, SteelersNation goes crazy. And that's always drove me wild about some of the Steelers fans. And another thing I wanted to point out, I live here in Western Pennsylvania. And all these people that's talking bad about Tomlin, and we all know that Mike Tomlin is a Hall of Fame coach. He basically surpassed Bill Cowher as far as wins go. And we all know the elephant in the room is people don't like Tomlin because he's a black coach. That's all I wanted to point out, and thank you for taking my call.
Man, thank you for calling. Definitely appreciate that. Hey, guys, you know what? He said it, so I will address the elephant in the room. I do believe that is part of the reason why some dislike Mike Tomlin. Let's just be honest. This is America. I don't mean to offend. I'm just being a realist. We know the world we live in. I don't think that's everybody's reason. No, I don't. But I'm not going to sit here and act like that's not a reason for some people. For sure. Yeah, it is. I've actually heard it. Like in passing, when people didn't really notice that I was listening. I've heard it. I've heard Tomlin being called the word. So I'm just saying. Yeah, that's a big old elephant that is part of it with some people. But like I said, I don't think it's everybody. I think a good portion of the people as well is just the Steeler way. We're so used to being this winning organization, the 4 championships, the 2 more, and we got there again, almost won it, and we're starving for another one. I think that's a bulk of it too. But absolutely, that elephant exists. Come on, we can't talk around that. It exists. And it's funny when people try to flip it. And because remember I told y'all the comment that the dude said to me on one of these videos. The man said, "I bet you if it was a white coach, you would have won him fired." He just out the blue said that, and I'm like, "Whoa, buddy! You saying that actually makes it that's you showing your problem, not mine. Like, where did that come from?" So, but like I said, me personally, I love all people that love me. I don't care what your race, creed, color. I respect everybody until you give me a reason not to. Plain and simple. So we actually will end it with one more call. And then I'll spend a few more moments in there. But I got to answer this call. It's 804. For y'all that don't know, that's Cap City. That's Richmond, Virginia, baby. No, I'm going to answer that. 804, what you got for us?
Hey, what's up, man? I wanted to talk about Chase Claypool, just the whole situation. From my perspective, I don't think it was more so the fact that he celebrated and then 10 seconds went off the clock and we didn't have another play to shoot for the end zone. I think for me it was more so the fact that he did celebrate knowing that, yo, bro, we don't got any timeouts. What are we celebrating for?
Yeah.
And then the fact that he gets into the press conference and then they ask him about it and he's like, oh, well, you know, indirectly he's blaming Trey Turner for taking the ball from him, but Trey Turner was taking the ball from him to bring it back to the line of scrimmage. And I think that's the problem with this team. It's not specifically everybody, but certain players that just don't have the ability to take accountability for the things that they say and do. And even with that and Devin Bush, I think Devin Bush has a hard time taking accountability for the things that he does because I don't know word for word for what he said earlier, but he said something along the lines of, everybody on the team isn't playing up to their potential, but I'm not going to take the blame either. And I feel like nobody's asking you individually to take the blame for the team not playing good. I think every Steeler fan can turn on the TV on Sunday and see that there are players out there that are not playing to their potential, and you fall in that line. That's no doubt. Anybody can agree with that. Nobody's asking you to take accountability for the team. I would like him to say, look, I'm coming back off my injury, and I haven't been playing up to the way that I would like to play. And that starts with me. But to sit there and say, oh, yeah, you know, everybody else on the team not playing up to par, so, you know, I'm not going to take accountability for how I'm playing. You know, I'm not putting that weight on my shoulders. It goes to show to why they declined his fifth-year option. And, you know, he has been playing good as of, I don't want to say good, but he has been playing better than what he has been playing. And, you know, I saw when they put Buddy Johnson out there, which I'm a big fan of. You know, I think, you know, his spot might be up for grabs after this season, especially, you know, coming into the season with the Twitter stuff, you know. But that's just my biggest thing, man. I just want to call in and just give my perspective of just how players on the team are acting from an accountability perspective. I appreciate you for letting me get in here for the last call. And, you know, 804 you represent, man. Appreciate you.
No doubt. I'm always going to represent from the hometown, man. No question. But, yeah, man. Devin Bush got to own that, man. And that's one of the one things I didn't like about what he said is he kept saying, actually, I can take these headphones off now, right? He kept saying, you know, even if you didn't like the way he admitted to being nervous and all of that, at least he admitted it. But then he just kept saying, yeah, but I don't think anybody is playing up to their potential. Like, come on, Devin. You can't tiptoe on it. Own it. Don't deflect. I didn't like that. That's immaturity right there, right? Did not like that. And I agree with you 1,000%. Own it. And the same thing with Chase Claypool. Listen, man, same thing. I'm glad you brought that up because, yeah, he kind of tried to throw some shade some other areas like, you know, where the ball got knocked out. No, but you know what, Chase? The ball doesn't get knocked out if you ain't celebrating, bruh. Homie, fam, anything you want to call him. If you ain't celebrating, come on, man. Y'all got to own your stuff. Round of applause to Lee Sharp for the donation. This is a good question here, and I don't think I can answer it, to be honest with you. He says, James Conner is balling. Yeah, give James Conner his credit. I'm actually going to say something about James Conner. He says, but who do you think we would have taken first pick if we kept him? Man, I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm going to be honest. I can't even begin to think because then I would have to go back and see who's on the board at that spot. If we don't need Najee, maybe you take a shot at one of the offensive linemen. Because even, man, when I was looking at it, I think Creed Humphrey went like 62 or something like that. So it was after Freiermuth. I don't know. Maybe you pluck one of those guys earlier, but I don't know. I would really have to go back and dissect who was there when we did pick, if we weren't looking running back, to see what would have been, who I thought would have been value at that pick. Because remember, I thought Najee was value at that pick. Remember, I kept saying it. Yo, if he's there, You take that. So I don't know who else was still there that I felt would have been worthy of it. And speaking of James Conner, man, I tweeted this out during their game. I'm going to say it right now. Some of y'all might be guilty of it. I am sick and tired of SteelersNation. Let me be clear. Let me look right at y'all when I say this, because y'all know I love you. But I gotta speak my piece from time to time too when I think we're wrong. I'm sick and tired of SteelersNation trying to say the Steelers were stupid for not re-signing James Conner. As if you don't recall the reason why the Steelers did not re-sign James Conner. Had nothing to do with the man's ability. That was never in question. In fact, I remember me being one of the people who were surprised and kept saying it adamantly the year after Le'Veon left and James Conner was balling and James Conner was having more explosive runs. I was like, whoa, he's not Le'Veon, but he's filling that void. We never questioned his ability. For a fact, if father-in-law Leonard is still in here, he will remember this. I was the main one always defending James Conner every game, even last season, when we couldn't run the ball. I was like, dog, it ain't him. I showed plays. Remember, that's when I was showing all 22. I showed plays where the line was meeting him in the backfield. Right? The only reason the Pittsburgh Steelers did not re-sign James Conner is the question about his availability. That was it, folks. That's all, folks. That's what it was. It's funny how people love a team, but every time they do something that they don't agree with, they're so stupid. How does that make sense? You can disagree. We've disagreed tonight with some things that we thought coaching staff, organization has done, right? But you still love the team. I don't get those fans. I don't get you guys that do that. And again, for you to say that they were dumb to not re-sign Conner now because you're seeing him have success, that lets me know you don't really know the team. You don't really know what's going on. Because let me tell you something. James Conner had success with Pittsburgh also. But when did he not have success? When he was hurt. What position does he play? Running back. If a running back has been injured every season, from a business standpoint, you're probably not going to re-sign him to a 4 or 5 year contract. That's just the nature of the beast. And good for James Conner. I'm so happy for James Conner having the success he's having. Good for him. Good for the Steelers taking a chance on that kid after everything that he had been going through and overcame. So y'all need to cut that out, SteelersNation. I don't understand. Again, your highlight watchers. Whoa, look at all those touchdowns. And here's the kicker, right? Y'all act like we ain't got a beast back there right now. You acting like Najee ain't that guy and won't be that guy. So it's not like we lost much. If anything, you're just looking at the highlights, the touchdowns. Go somewhere, man. See Antoine Hill. Round of applause for the donation. He says, Sim, I am very disappointed with the Steelers game, but them Sixers put a spanking on the Warriors. I know this is not about basketball. I'm just saying. I appreciate it. Thank you for the donation, but it ain't about basketball. So we ain't talking about that tonight. But yeah, we did. They did do their thing. That was cool. Round of applause to my man, Lyle McCombs, for the donation. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. Uh-oh. Football Mino 2, you says Tomlin. What about Tomlin? I just see Tomlin. What y'all talking about? Oh, you're talking about AB and all that. Listen, again, I'm not here to defend Mike Tomlin or the Pittsburgh Steelers. But here's a question I have for you. We talking about Antonio Brown. We talking about a couple players. Like, there's knucklehead players on all teams. Even the Patriots have had knucklehead players. And over the span of this man's coaching career, how many players have he had to deal with like that? Because here's the thing. You can't win or lose, right? You bench Antonio Brown and we lose. The first thing people are going to say is, it's like, excuse me, I don't know. But like I said, that's opinion. I'm not going to debate that. But I don't know, man. I feel like sometimes we try to pick and choose what fits a narrative. And if y'all know anything about me, I try not to do that. I think anybody could be guilty of that, but I really try to not have no narrative when I give an opinion. And I'm pretty confident in saying that I don't do that. I give my opinion based off of what I see, what I may have heard, what I may have experienced. That's it. I don't build no narrative because I don't have a narrative when it comes to the Steelers other than I would like to see us continue to win and win a Super Bowl. That's it. Does not matter who's in the seat driving the Steelers, who the head coach is. None of that matters to me. Do I like Mike Tomlin? Sure I do. But I also understand things keep moving along thereafter. Where's going to be a day where we have another coach? So all I'm concerned about is the Steelers winning. I don't have no narrative. I just call things how I see it. But anyway, guys, that is about all. I told you guys to hold until the end of the show because I'm going to do something, give you guys a tease as in what you can see. And listen, this is not me promoting or nothing like that. It's just an option. And let me give you guys the backstory. I no longer show the all 22 footage here publicly on Terrible Towel Tuesday. Some of you guys remember I used to do that quite often last year. The NFL has decided to consider that content as copyright or what have you. So if you monetize the video, you cannot monetize it. They take your monetization. I refuse to allow the NFL to take my monetization. So what I do now, I do show the all 22 in an unmonetized format. That footage is only available for those of you who have joined the channel. To join the channel, you pay a monthly fee. It's $4.99. It's not even that high. It's optional. But some of the things that I do for those of you that have become extended members, I show private content. Right now, it's all 22. But going forward, it'll be a whole bunch of stuff. You know, some of you guys didn't know I gamed. There's going to be stuff like that, too. Just exclusive content. But what I will do tonight is show one play, you know, to give you kind of an idea of what I show, right? And I'm going to show it at the very end. So therefore, if the NFL decides to see it and catch it, I can chop that right off the video and remonetize. All right. So let me make sure there's not anything else I got before I get to that. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? We talked about Bush, Tomlin, yada, 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 yada. Yeah, I think that's all. And of course, we'll have the pregame show coming as well this weekend. And let's see. Oh, Wild Diggy says Patrick Chung was arrested with coke. Thank you. Let me read that loudly. Patrick Chung was arrested with coke possession under Belichick's watch. And Aaron Hernandez, we ain't even got to go there. So this is what I'm saying, man. It always seems to fit a narrative. And again, I'm not blaming any of you guys for doing that, but it just seems like sometimes the things that we pick at players, coaches, or whatever, it fuels a narrative. And it's not really the concrete information. Like we blaming a head coach. We are literally trying to blame a head coach for the way someone personally acts. How can you do that? It's bad enough that they're responsible for 53 players and practice squad. So if you have one or two guys that's bugging out, or you have one or two guys that's immature, those odds are likely in the world. Go to your job tomorrow, right? If you work in a building or wherever you work and there's multiple people that you work with, I bet you can find one or two people in there that's immature for their age or whatever you want to call it. But it ain't your companies. They can't control what y'all know what happened at my job. Man, I'm not gonna say because who knows who watches this. Yeah, even though I don't say names and stuff like that, but some wild individual personal things have happened that ain't got nothing to do with the company or their manager or they manager. I'm just saying, man, y'all are wild when it comes to that. But all right, guys. And like Kenyon is saying, this dude out here faking COVID IDs and all of this, like the vaccination, like that's just him. So we gonna blame Bruce Arians too for not controlling Antonio Brown? See what I'm saying? That's just Antonio Brown. Point blank period. He's gonna do what he wants to do. Plain and simple. But anyway, guys, let's do it. Let me do a preliminary wrap up in case the show ends. So I'm gonna say that here. In case you don't see the remaining few minutes of this show, thank you for watching. All right, guys, I had to stay there right there so I know where to chop it. But all right, guys, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek. Hopefully it stays up. If not, this will be chopped. So if you guys somehow see this after the fact and you don't see the video footage, I had to chop it because the NFL was in my pocket. Check this out. This is the play where Jefferson was able to beat Cam Sutton on a play action, and it was a touchdown. But I'm going to show you why it happened. And I'm going to show you guys how football is a game of inches, as well as sometimes you got to give the other team credit. Sometimes they catch you in the right defense. They have the right play call, right? Because this is what's going to happen. Some people are going to say that's bad coaching. That's what people always run to. Again, highlight watchers always say bad coaching. Sometimes the offense just executed better. Let me show you. Oops, wrong screen. Hold on, guys. Give me 2 seconds. 2 shakes of a rattlesnake. 2 shakes of a rattlesnake. You guys are going to have to let me know that y'all can see it too. Here we go. Boom, boom, bang. Y'all see that? Let me scroll it down a little bit. Hold on. Let me scroll it up a little bit. Hold on, guys. Let me cut some of that extra out. Give me a second. I don't know why it's showing like that. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Let me trim this up a little better for y'all. Hold on. Hold on. I don't know why it's showing like this now. It wasn't doing that earlier today. Weird. Hold on. Cut that out. Let's cut the top down. And we got to cut more of this out. Jeez. Jesus. All right, y'all good? Y'all see it? What happened to the phone calls? We took plenty of phone calls. We done with phone calls for the night, man. My bad if I couldn't get you tonight. I'll definitely be able to get you the next time. Y'all let me know that y'all can see what's on the screen. Can y'all see that? Actually, let me go ahead and end the phone queue, man, so it doesn't confuse anybody. Hold on, guys. Everybody can see that, right? All right, cool. I'm going to play this in regular speed first. And this is just a sneak peek. You guys who are extended family members, y'all going to see a good amount of this footage, as you see every week, right? And I'll try to get that out to you guys tomorrow. Check this out. Touchdown, Vikings. Now, let's go take a look and see why that happened. First of all, and again, by the way, I hate the all-22 in this football season. It is so stupid, pathetic, trash, the way they offer it. So the NFL hears this, they're probably going to get me. But this is horrible. This is horrible. Can't get this off the screen. Can't go to the play I want. Can't go to the timestamp. This is horrible. Why did y'all change this? Anyway, look at these Vikings. Now y'all can see my cursor. Look at all these people on the line of scrimmage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Watch this. Steelers are going to be playing man, right? You got Minka here on the left hash, right hash, right? He's already going to be in a compromised position, right? Because he's a single safety. He is going to have to choose who to jump. Check this out. Oh, see, stupid. It's so stupid how this thing works. All right, hold on. Slow motion. Bam. 2 eligibles. Look at how many people they left in to block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Watch the back end. Oh my God. See, y'all see what I'm saying? See, the extended family members see this every week. This thing is so horrible now. You've heard other people complain about it. But watch. I got to try to be delicate to do somewhat of a makeshift slow motion. Watch this. Boom. Here comes natural pick. Natural pick is coming. Minka has to decide who's he going to jump. Now, I talked to Kenyon and Tony about this earlier, and I was like, man, you feel like Minka should have probably went to the biggest threat because he's closer and he's the guy. He's Jefferson. But at the same time, this is a hard decision this is a decision you're trying to put on the free safety. He has to make a choice. So he actually jumps the closer person. If he was going to jump Jefferson, he's got to do it now. But he actually tries to hang in there until the last minute. And of course, it messes up again. Guys, this is so horrendous. But I actually found a better way to present it to when I show it on the channel, I chop it up and, But anyway, look what happens. Look at that. Wide open. But look at this. Look back here. Game of inches. Pressure almost got there. The pressure gets there. This is incomplete. Maybe he's hit. Maybe he throws it short. Maybe it's picked off by him. Maybe it's picked off by him. But this is what happens when the offensive play is better than the defensive coverage. Again, here goes Minka. He's all under this. But because it was a natural natural rub route, Cam Sutton is forced to try to run over top of it. Jefferson goes underneath, creates the separation. Lord have mercy. Look at this, man. I'll just let it play in regular speed. And you're going to see what happened here. Touchdown. Right? So the reason why I'm showing you guys this, and I'll show it one more time as I'm talking. Let's back it up. I show this because a lot of times when you watch stuff on the TV in real time, you say, man, who blew that coverage? Man, what happened? But look, it wasn't nothing they could do right there. Blitz didn't get there. They kept 7 people. 7 blockers. There you have it. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show y'all some film that y'all are going to be disgusted about as far as how that defense was playing in the first half. But yeah, Lydell Dorsey, you're right. Pressure, man. Listen, if the pressure doesn't get there, that's a touchdown. Yeah, I heard about that, Dose. I know Alex and them use the international version, but see, the reason why I didn't do it, because I had already bought this one. And honestly, I just wasn't paying again for another version and not be able to utilize the one I paid for, right? So if the same issue is going on like this next season, I probably will do that. But it was just, at that point, it was principle for me. I'm not giving them money again. Pay for something that I should be getting with this one. Because last season and all of the seasons before that, the All-22 has been fine. So it's just principle with me. But yeah, man. Debbie says, could the other safety had stayed back to help trap in the back? Did the front need to have so many? Yeah, it's weird, man, because see, again, let's go back to it. We don't know the play call, right? Because I want y'all to pay attention to the linebackers too. Like, was this a blitz or were they just jumping because of play action, right? So they automatically vacate. There's nothing here. Now, maybe he could have, this is Edmonds. Maybe he could have got more depth, but the way he's playing this, like he's not going to have a chance. And like I said, I don't know what the call was here. Because another thing that the Steelers did a lot in this game, because of the personnel that Vikings put out there a lot in the first half, we were in base coverage a lot. And we were in base where we exchanged a corner for a linebacker. There was quite a few snaps that it was the 3 outside linebackers. We've seen them run that a lot. So they just came up with a good attack, and they trusted their personnel against us. Because look at how they lined up. So we matched the personnel perfectly. You know what I'm saying? We're in base defense right here. And essentially, you would say, oh, we got it covered pretty well. But because we're running man, blitz these guys. And like I said, I don't know if this is a natural blitz or if they're just jumping the play action and understanding the routes and all that. Nobody's going to come behind them. They just go in. It creates this conflict. Scissor concept. And here's the thing. Remember we ran the scissor concept with Deontay Johnson? Well, what was that, last week? They run that because the Steelers, like I said, we have been playing a lot of man. But look at this, too. We just give the inside. Look at Sutton, man. We just give the inside up. And again, I understand you got help. But to me, you can't funnel everything in there when you only got one safety. You know what I'm saying? You can't give both of these guys the inside leverage. Look how far back it's like, and I get it. I understand why he's back here because there's nobody, there's nobody for him to line up on. So I get it. I get why Witherspoon is way back there. But man, and he steps outside first. Homeboy didn't get a good jam on him. A redirect. Look. And he's not going to redirect him because it's not zone. But I'm just saying, free release, scissor concept, Minka has to make a decision. Like, Minka's in trouble already. Now, like I said, you could say, well, why wouldn't you go with the bigger threat? Perhaps. But, you got to make a decision here. If you go with Jefferson, he's open. Now, if you get lucky, you catch Kirk Cousins looking to the right. So actually, if Minka, here's the thing. I'm not putting this on Minka, but the way this panned out, if Minka Fitzpatrick jumps Jefferson, this is a sack. Pressure's there. It's a sack. Because of the way we got to him. Because he's going to his right, back turn. That's a sack. Might be a fumble. Because his arm is going to be up. If Minka jumps Jefferson, but then again, split second. If Kirk Cousins reads that in time, let me see if I can pause it. If Kirk Cousins reads right here that Minka is going in that direction, then maybe he throws it back this way. It's just, again, he was in conflict, man. Really not much he could do right there. So, called out Tomlin. You said Ben called out Tomlin? I don't know. Maybe I missed it. What did he say? I'm going to stick around for that. Could somebody tell me what he said that was a call out or? But again, it's like I said last week, football mind, if you don't like Mike Tomlin, that's fine. You won't get an argument out of me. That's your opinion. I feel bad for you because you're stuck with him. Regardless of what happens this season, you're stuck with him. You say again, I like Tomlin, and I don't understand. I don't know. I try not to stay in these comments so much. It just seems like Tomlin, you criticize him more than you like. So I don't know. And I'm not saying that we can't criticize him, but the things that some of you guys point to, I just don't agree with. And that's fair. We don't have to agree. We don't. You said he might be talking about when Ben was yelling at. Yeah, I don't know. Might be why Diggy. When Ben walked to the sideline, he said something to Tomlin out of frustration. Don't know. We don't exactly. We have no idea what he said. So I and it's funny because even the media was trying to spin that. Like immediately they were spinning that during the game because the Steelers were losing. Immediately they said, "Oh, Ben is not happy." We don't know what he said. His frustration could have been at the O-line. Because remember I said this in the post game. The very next frame after the commercial, Tomlin and Ben are talking, and it looks like they're talking rather casually. So all I'm saying, guys, and I will end the show with this. I don't speculate on stuff that I don't know. I just don't. That's my personality. You don't have to indulge in my personality. I just don't. I don't make any speculations on things that I can't prove. I just don't. Oh, you talking about that? The reporter asked about Claypool and yeah. Well, Ben's right. He's right. I mean, I guess you could call that a call. I don't know. But I heard Ben say that. He said, "What about reeling in Chase Claypool?" He said, "Hey, that's not my job. That's for Coach Tomlin to do." To me, that's right. I didn't perceive that as a call out. He's saying that Tomlin has to do that. Yeah, Ben can talk to him, but ultimately the head coach has to address that. So, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, y'all have it. Y'all can have it, man. But yeah. But all right, guys. I'm gonna love you and leave you. I've been here quite a long time with y'all tonight, so I'm gonna get up out of here. So again, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you do that. Oops. It's not working. I don't know why. Hold on. It's not working. Oops. Oops. Wait a minute. Why is this not showing up? Very strange. Hold on, guys. Well, I have no idea why it's not working, but the sub button is not working. So something must be blocking it. But anyway, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Cut on your notifications. Definitely do that. If you like what you saw tonight, hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike. It's up to you. But outside of that, guys, appreciate y'all coming through. You guys will see me again. I don't know if it's Friday or Saturday, but I'll be back for a pregame show. We'll talk a little bit about the Titans, what the Steelers may need to do for keys to victory. And yeah, there you have it. And it's funny, guys. I didn't even ask the question, so I'm going to ask you guys in the pregame. I didn't ask the question, the title of the video. Do you want to see these Steelers in the playoffs? I'm not going to sit here for it tonight because we've been here long enough. But I'll get back to that. I'll get back to that on the pregame show. But all right, I hope you guys have a lovely night, man. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Have a great night. And I thank you for tuning in to Terrible Towel Tuesday. Peace.